Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today I, Ahmad Haziq bin Ahmad Shobirin, will be reviewing an article named Fear of Missing Out. So stay tuned. So uh so for introduction, this article is about FOMO or fear of missing out. This term was first coined by Dr. Dan Herman in 1996 by he is a marketing strategist. So FOMO means the feeling of being excluded from activities that can bring pleasure, which other people are doing or experiencing. That's basically the meaning of FOMO. So, on to the next part. The next part is the key parts of the article. So, there are three key parts that I was able to identify in the article. So, the first one is social media has further exacerbated FOMO in our society. The second one is the trend and impacts of FOMO. And the third one is the downside of FOMO. So, for the first one, social media has further exacerbated FOMO in our society. The reason being is it has created the habit of us always constantly comparing our lives to others through the creation of social media, as we are now able to see the highlights of other people's life all the time. And the second one is the trend and impacts of FOMO. So in this part, the author has stated four trends and impacts of FOMO in our society. The first one being that um the most experienced time of FOMO in people's life are usually at the end of the day or at the end of the week. And the second one is most people who experience FOMO are people with obligatory work, such as jobs or studying. And the third one is FOMO is not only felt when doing mundane activity, it can also be felt when we are doing exciting activities. And the next one is FOMO is heavily linked to feelings such as loneliness and low self-esteem. And the third key part of the article is about the downside of FOMO. So the downside of FOMO is it causes self-isolation and even 4G, which is the fear of joining in. Next is how do the key parts of the article interrelate with each other. So I believe that the key parts of the article interrelate with each other really well. One example is in the first key part, it is stated that social media is aggravating FOMO. And in the second key part, one of the trends is people usually tend to feel FOMO at the end of the day and at the end of the week. And it is no surprise as usually at this time is when people usually engage in social media. So for me, this first key part and the second key part, they support each other really, really well and explain each other really well. And the next example is in the second key part, it is mentioned that FOMO is linked to loneliness and low self-esteem. And what is the downsides of FOMO? It causes self-isolation and 4G, which is fear of joining in. So so the second key part explains the third key part. So it is self-explanatory, as it's no surprise it causes isolation, as usually people who faces FOMO are people who has low self-esteem and faces problems such as loneliness. So I believe they support each other really well and interrelate each other cohesively. So the next one is how do the key parts of the article relate to the thesis statement? Well, I believe that it supports the thesis statement very strongly because the key parts of the article really gives an in-depth insight of the information of what causes FOMO and how and when can FOMO occur and manifest itself, and the effects of FOMO to individual or who experience it. So it really explores to what FOMO really is. And the last one is, did the author anticipated also opposing views and counter it? Yes, because in the third key part, it mentions the downsides of FOMO, and actually the author was countering the opposing views of FOMO having a positive impact. The author said that more often than not, it causes the downsides more than the upsides. That's how the author counters the opposing views. So to conclude, I actually really relate to the idea of the text from the author to my own experience, and it really resonates with me because I have personally faced FOMO before, and this article has helped me to identify the problems I was facing in the past, which I didn't know I was even facing. Uh, and for me, it shows a very importance as a student that I should not compare my life, my achievement to other students, and should just focus on myself and what the qualities that I have, and try to pave my own success and try to make my own mark in other people's life and in this world rather than comparing my life to others. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.